Hello, my name is Helen. I am here today for express a lecture about the unit for the zero conditional and the first conditional. And the first conditional and the zero conditional, what is the use structure, how to use examples. In the first conditional is what is structure, how to use example. The zero conditional and the first conditional is they are conditional used to represent the situation in our lives, each and they use and time cause. The zero conditional what is it is of conditional two parts, relationship and cause and effect, or some situation and some result. In the structure, the zero conditional is the next. In the start, if as is in the condition, subject, present simple, comma, in the fusion, comma is the separate the condition, subject, and present simple. For example, if weather ratio 100 centigrados, comma, it's voids. In the structure is if is the condition, weather is the subject, real 100 grados centigrados is the present simple, comma, is the separation, the condition, it is the subject and voids. In the Spanish es el agua cuando alcanza 100 grados centígrados es hierve. And the next example is when the sentences begins with the results phrase, and the comma is not necessary. For example, weather balls if it reaches 100 grados centígrados. En Spanish es de el agua hierve cuando alcanza 100 grados centígrados. Es igual a significate in the structural is different. Weather is the subject. Weather is the subject. Boils is the present simple. And the if is the condition, and the if is subject, and the ratio 100 is the present simple. How to use? Expressing two facts, science fact, science laws, truths, instructions. For example, you get orange if you mix red and yellow. You get orange if you mix yellow. And in the Spanish es si tú obtienes naranja, si mezclas rojo y amarillo. In the style, if the structure is not necessary on the comma. In the next example is if it penetrates, it gets till. Esta is the structure basic is the if is the subject, is the condition, it is the penultimate is the present simple, I is the subject, get ill is the present simple. Si yo como maní, me enfermo, is the usage. The next is interesting fact. If it is conditional, you can substitute or replace if for when. Waiting, altering the meaning the phrase. For example, if you had ice, eat the meals. Is the structure basically zero conditional. Is the if condition, you is the subject, had ice is the present simple, comma, and separation condition, it is the subject, and met is the present simple. In Spanish is Si calientas el hielo, este se derrite. And replace the if for when. The use of the when is going to head ice it melts. The use factor is igual and the significado es igual. En Spanish sería cuando calientas el hielo, este se derrite. En the significado es igual. And the first conditional. The first conditional is the what is. It's a conditional used in situations where a certain outcome is likely to happen. For example, if you don't put a repellent, you get baby. And en Spanish es si tú no usas el repelente, te van a picar. Is the situation a certain time to come is the like. What is the use structure? Is the first conditional is in the use structure is if is condition, subject, present simple, comma, the user separation the condition, subject. Different zero conditional is the first conditional is the use the future simple. The future simple is the use the will or going to. How to use the first simple? Express plans for the future, trace warnings, promises, usually to convince someone of sometime. For example, if the weather is fine tomorrow, we will go cycle. And the use of the structure is the if is the condition, the weather is subject, is fine tomorrow, is the present simple, we else the subject, will go cycling is the future simple. In the Spanish is, si mañana hace buen tiempo, nosotros iremos en bicicleta. The next example is básico under rule anterior is when the sentence begins with the rest of the phrase and the comma is not necessary. For example, she will be late if the plane is late. Is the late. Ella llegará tarde si el vuelo se retrasa. She is the subject. Will be late is the future simple. If is the conditional of the plane is the late is the present simple. And the first conditional estructura básica is if the plane is late, comma, she will be late. If the conditional, the plane is subject, is the late as a present simple, she is the subject, will be late is the future simple. En Spanish es si el vuelo se retrasa, ella llegará tarde. Is igual. And the conclusion, the first conditional and zero conditional, both are conditional. The only difference is the time they are used. And thank you. Finally, is the bibliography. Goodbye.